Welcome back, everybody, to Quake Pro League. The story of today has been map number 3 as the decider, and with these last two featured matches, I can't imagine anything else. But first, before we get into it, let me bring on the one and only legendary DJ Wheat. Please, come on board, Wheat. We got a lot to talk about.
Board, thanks for letting me on the ship this week. I know the waters have been treacherous and it's been a little stormy, but happy to be here. So thanks. And I agree, 40. Seeing all of these decider third maps and really it going to the end is really exciting. I hope that our featured matches will follow that same pattern.
Yeah, so do I. And the first up is going to be k1llsen versus RAISY, and that is just a battle of titans. That is going to be fantastic. k1llsen again coming off a close loss to Cypher. Flea, why don't you tell me a little bit about everything and how you feel about it first?
k1llsen versus RAISY, a matchup for the ages. Last time they went head-to-head was actually during the Stage 1 finals, in the very finals day, and it was RAISY taking down k1llsen 3-0 before playing his grand final matchup against Rafa, of course. These two players, they have a lot of history. If you look back earlier this week, k1llsen ended up losing to Cypher. He's been struggling a little bit in these last few weeks, but I think everyone is hoping to see him play to the best of his ability. k1llsen, rails, and man of incredible skill, but RAISY might just be one of the most consistent players when it comes to the EU side, so he will have to best that.
I mean, we know that k1llsen's been sort of getting over his eye ailment and sort of getting back into it. I mean, a close loss to Cypher, pretty great. So I'm excited for this matchup. RAISY's been really interesting to watch this stage, and we've got a chance to interview him a couple times too. And he says, you know, I could be better. I need to kind of work on my game a little bit. I'm very aware of what I want to work on. But man, last week we saw sort of the not so confident RAISY, and then we saw him completely open a can of whoop ass and go absolutely nuts on his opponent. So, you know, there's a part of me that keeps saying I don't know that RAISY is necessarily satisfied with not being on the top. At least I would like to hope that. So, you know, here's a chance for him to do it. Tough opponent versus k1llsen. Is k1llsen at the top of his game? We all want him to be. I hope he is. I really would love this series to deliver.
I completely agree, and let's take a look at the pick bans and see what we have in store for us for this set. It's going to be Deep Embrace, Corrupted Keep, Molten Falls. We got Strog versus k1llsen, Eisen versus Visor, and Ranger versus, oh my god, Clutch.
The robot coming out to play, always a risk. k1llsen, though, he had the first ban, and he still chose not to get rid of Clutch, which is, of course, questionable. I think just about anyone will ban Clutch right away, but maybe k1llsen knows something we don't. Maybe he's got a strategy up those sleeves somewhere. First off, Deep Embrace, second time we're seeing it today. RAISY playing k1llsen, tried and proven champion on this map, but not unbeatable as we just saw. Whereas k1llsen will be rocking the Strog, and then Corrupted Keep, Eisen versus Visor. We've seen Visor being played on this map today, not quite to the best effect though.
It's interesting to see Clutch picked on the last map, let alone, you know, let through. Usually the instant ban is, all right, Clutch, get him out of there, it's RAISY, I don't want anything to do with it. But not only did it get through, but also, you know, just seeing it on the third map, like not on Corrupted, on Molten. I mean, it's very strong on Molten, don't get me wrong, and RAISY is going to be RAISY. It's just interesting. The Visor pick on Corrupted Keep, again, we've seen it before. There's got to be something there, maybe using the vials, maybe denying the vials from your opponent, but it's interesting to keep seeing it and that kind of evolve into the meta of, yeah, Visor on Corrupted Keep, why wouldn't we?
Yeah, that's some good picks in my opinion for RAISY's side. I mean, the k1llsen on Deep Embrace, I think that's one of the best that you can get there. Putting Clutch in the hands of RAISY doesn't mean he's invincible. We've seen it fall before, but still a little intimidating. We're not even playing. I'm a little nervous for k1llsen in map 3. So I mean, good picks. I like the map selection that we've got here. I'll just throw it out there. I still think this is RAISY favor just based off of map 1 and 3. I'm going to go RAISY 2-1 on this one.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. I'm very skeptical about the Visor, but like Wheat said, map 1, I do feel like RAISY has the advantage. Map 3, you can never really bet against RAISY on clutch. So I would think that this would be a 2-1 for RAISY. But on the other hand, k1llsen, yes, he hasn't been playing as much as he'd like, but he looked good playing Cypher earlier this week. So you know what? You never know what he can bring to the table.
Well, the predictions are coming in for at least map 1. It looks like 55 to 45% in favor of k1llsen.
Oh.
So people believe the German is back and ready, locked and loaded. I myself, I think I will side with you guys and say 2-1 RAISY, simply because even when he wasn't on top of his game last week, he still, managed to pull it out. And I feel like if he's reworked some of the things he's talked about in terms of, taking fights when he shouldn't be and kind of having more, I guess, patience and kind of self-restraint almost, you want to say, because he mentioned, sometimes I'm taking fights I shouldn't take. I kind of dive in on stuff. So I feel like if he cleaned those up, it's just going to be the RAISY monster that we've seen before. And as Flea mentioned before, stage 1 finals, I mean, 3 over k1llsen, that's not easy, but he's done it. So I feel like 2-1 is going to be the way this goes in favor of RAISY.
Keep that pattern alive.
Yeah.
We just gotta all be, unity. 3 Musketeers, Wheat. And as I say that, I feel like we should kick out Flea and have some alone time. What do you say?
All right, let's do it. We'll be back with Flea.
Flea has his umbrella. He doesn't need us. It's fine.
Is he gonna hold it over you for this match?
He might. I wish he would, like a gentleman, but he didn't. But you would, Wheat, and that's what's important, because you take care of everybody. Yeah, it's always a pleasure to have you on, man. And this one should be a battle for the ages. I mean, as we're getting closer and closer to stage 2 finals, everybody kind of trying to get in the best positions. The top 4 again get the first round buys. Both these players nowhere near relegation. They don't have to worry about that, but they are trying to fight and make sure that they maintain their top seeds. Again, k1llsen's just on the outskirts at seed 5, so he definitely wants to try and rack up these victories to get that first round bye.
You're absolutely right. I mean, the top 4 on the EU side 40 is absolutely bonkers, right? But being in that safe zone and staying out and kind of, getting, as you go into the stage 2 finals, exactly that advantage that you're talking about, really important. And I think also for k1llsen, who unfortunately has had to miss a couple weeks, due to some things going on, still, it's got to feel good to be able to maintain that, to be able to get back into that groove. Still think that it's going to be a tough battle for both of these players. And, RAISY, who was pretty consistently sitting in the number 1 spot for a couple of stages, is now kind of having to fight back for that spot. So,
well, it all starts with this one, as it looks like RAISY's actually taken the prediction lead 56 to 44, but it doesn't matter, because it matters what happens in the arena, and we're live on k1llsen on map number 1 between k1llsen and RAISY.
I'm so excited. I just love Deep Embrace, and interesting picks here. Now, Akil is not an auto win by any means, but gosh, just super, super powerful here on this particular map. Just using those pineapples can be so effective, and you can control areas really well. But things are going to start off a little bit slow, and that's okay. k1llsen's going to get the first damage there, suddenly getting hit with the rocket from the side. Now, this first battle that we're going to see here, I'm not sure who is going to initiate 40, but I kind of like k1llsen sort of playing it slow, getting back over to the heavy. Now it's just going to wait for it. I think his opponent knows exactly where he's at. That's going to be the cue for k1llsen to grab it and get out of there. We'll set up to fight another day.
Yeah, I love k1llsen's just self-awareness to know I don't want to get caught around the corner. Crouch sliding is fun, it's fast, but if I get caught out and I eat a pineapple in a rocket, it's over. LG on LG, but the stack from RAISY's just too strong. k1llsen felt like he had the advantage, but RAISY says, no, you didn't, and he takes the first frag. Big rail off the spawn as well. k1llsen in a bad way as he takes 2.
I feel like that just opened up a can of confidence here for RAISY, landing just 2 amazing rails right off of that. Cannot follow up, though, with those grenades. Is still dishing out a lot of damage, but Low himself, 83 points of health, so he's got to be careful. Is on the board, though, 40. And we talked about RAISY just having those moments where he kind of explodes. Well, that's exactly what we saw there. However, cannot count k1llsen out. Amazing player, keeping it together. RAISY down to 10 points of health and doesn't have a whole lot of option. Where do you go and get that safe health? In fact, k1llsen coming in, and it's the LG from down below to put him on the board, tied up 1-1.
And that jump rail that started it all the way from LG, was so beautiful. Almost converts with another one here as he's going to grab this heavy and slowly try and make his way back to the Mega. That's not going to be up for a while, so big split. Now it's just a matter of trying to make sure that he denies as many weapons as he can from RAISY. And RAISY's just chilling. He's not in a rush for anything.
Yeah, and both players should be respecting one another. Is they're both incredible. Now a drop down here. The LG is out. k1llsen gonna go for an attack. He does get a significant amount of damage off and grabs that mega. LG back on, and RAISY running away. k1llsen right now in a great position so far. I really like how he's been playing against this Keel. He has been taking those long range shots, staying out of the danger zone of those pineapples, and so far been very effective. Now controlling that middle. Awesome rail from underneath the bridge. Cannot find the follow-up one, but very close on that second one. Through the teleporter, his opponent goes. k1llsen down below. Oh, he goes to the teleporter. Rocket does hit down to 45. The pineapples come out, and RAISY once again running away. k1llsen got the better of that fight.
I have no idea how RAISY's still alive. Trying to get 2 rails, taking a little bit of damage. The Mega's up, but he just doesn't want to commit. He's too afraid of where k1llsen might be. Now that he knows the coast is clear, RAISY's going to grab that Mega and start getting some semblance of a stack going. But k1llsen was doing a really good job of making sure that rockets and rails were not free for RAISY, especially since, up close and personal, the pineapples can be so deadly. The pineapple rocket combo can just do so much burst damage. RAISY slowing down, playing from down below. k1llsen forcing him to the low ground. Catching him out, just barely missing on an opportunity to land a big rocket there. But a lot of respect from both of these players.
From the last minute or so, it really seems like k1llsen has actually been dishing out a lot of damage and none of it getting returned. But if you look at the actual damage itself, it's only about 150 points of damage separating the two. So interesting to see that. But k1llsen now back over to the heavy has got a real nice stack. And RAISY, even though being that heavy, wow, pineapple from down below popping him back up. He has not had the armor stack that k1llsen's been able to hold on to in the last about 3 minutes of this game. So let's see as we hit the halfway point. 1-1. There's a lot of action, 40, but the scoreboard might not totally represent that.
Yeah, RAISY only getting in on 1 heavy. 5 megas as opposed to k1llsen with 6 heavies and 2 megas. So flip-flopping the items here as k1llsen grabs the mega. Makes his way back over. Wants to grab that 50 shard. Immediately gets punished by that rail. There's the peekers. RAISY tries to push forward. He's going to get dropped down to the low ground yet again as k1llsen maintains high ground.
Like that peeker. Good place to use it. Great peek rail from k1llsen. Almost lands another surgical rail between the columns. And it's those rails that I think are making a huge difference versus opponent that you obviously do not want to be fighting up close and personal. The rocket jump up to the top. It does manage to land some damage, but RAISY gets away pretty clean. And this is the first time I think in a good while that we saw both of those majors going over to RAISY. k1llsen not in a terrible spot, but has got to watch out because RAISY can just kind of bowl his way into a fight.
And RAISY just barely missed that jump over, and that could have caught k1llsen off guard. So very fortunate. There's the rock and jump. Keel comes flying in, and k1llsen is going to take that as his cue to leave here. Is he going to fight for this mega? He hears RAISY stomping around up there, so he's going to opt to maybe set up a rail and do some damage, but he doesn't want to overcommit.
Yeah, how does he get back in these rotations? Well, Mega's going to be delayed by quite a bit. Finally picked up there and coming in. Huge direct rocket, but the LG does land on k1llsen. k1llsen run away. He was within rail, landed that light. And now k1llsen very, very low. He's got to watch out and dodge all those pineapples. Knows exactly where his opponent is. Really risky rockets over the ledge there, 40, but still managing to stay alive, playing smart. Got to watch out for that rail. Oh my gosh, my heart's beating pretty fast for that one, but there's the 2 25s to get a little bit of health now. No armor, and k1llsen is still fighting like a boss here.
When he pops the peeker, that could be the death of him as RAISY drops down and takes sweet advantage of it. There's the shotgun frag, 2-1. k1llsen was playing so well defensively, just popped the peeker, tried to get some surprise damage, but RAISY said, you know what, I'm just going to drop. That's my opportunity. Takes the frag lead, but we still have a lot of time here, Wheat. But this is the lowest scoring game of Deep Embrace we've ever seen. Great LG kill from RAISY there to go up 3-1.
Yeah, I mean, k1llsen was playing just masterfully, given what his stack looked like, 40. You know, he was hitting a lot of rails too, and oh my goodness. But RAISY, again, just feeling like he is feeling it right now, landing 3 rails in a row. He's up by 3. There's still a lot of time left, so he cannot get too overcaught. Oh, no! Missed rocket jump into the rail, and this is it. This is the window opening up. He just totally eats the peaker and gets taken down, and suddenly the tables have turned.
Oh my goodness. The rocket launcher was not out. Rail jumps aren't a thing, but here's the punish. He should be able to get back in control with this frag, and RAISY stabilizes with that kill, but that was very dangerous for a second there, Wheat.
Very, very. And I mean, right, that's one of the powers of Keel is like, I'm off to spawn, I got pineapples, I'm gonna get in your face and go. And I just can't believe how much damage we saw him eat while dishing out his own set of LG damage. k1llsen was able to bring that deficit back that he had by quite a bit, but still 2 frags, huge direct rocket, a second one, and they trade as k1llsen gets flown into the corner and lands on a rocket of his own. So not much of a change in difference, still 2 frags separating these two, but we're down to the last 2 minutes. And off the spawn, k1llsen is going to get the mega, and the heavy is up. That goes to RAISY, and here we go, the final moments of this game.
RAISY playing very patient now. He knows he has the stack and the advantage, but k1llsen trying to come around the corner. Good LG. It almost gets flown off the map. That was very clinch-worthy here as RAISY trying to hang on, trying to fight from down below and just get out of there. There's a great fadeaway rail. The pineapple won't connect as k1llsen just relentless with the pressure, and he goes down 7-4 in favor of RAISY. Wheat, does k1llsen have what it takes to get back in this?
I mean, he does. I think the time. Oh, another trade. It's a shotgun and grenades. And that's the power of Keel, especially when you're a little bit.
Oh, he did it. He did it.
Oh, that was for you. I saw your name written on that gauntlet as it went down. 9-5. I think that might seal the deal here. But this was a great game, 40. Just absolute. I mean, it was 1-1 for most of the game. We saw a little breakaway from RAISY. k1llsen ended up bringing it back pretty hard, and this just makes me excited for the rest of the series. There was a couple of moments that I guess we could talk about once the game concludes, but with just 3 frags between these two right now, it was still such a great game.
Such a close game. So much damage from RAISY, and he actually gets taken out, but 15 seconds, 2 frags, I don't know. In the missed rail off the spawn, this one's going to be done and dusted. But, I mean, how many games have we seen today where it's been 5-6 minutes of a stalemate? Very defensive play, nobody wants to crack, and then somebody does, and then the dam bursts. You know what I mean? And that's just such an incredible first map from these two. And yeah, it sets the tone for the whole series, and it was just really, really well played from RAISY and k1llsen.
There were a couple of times where, you know, RAISY, I thought, could have just dished out more damage by, you know, spamming some of those rockets when they were both doing dances down below, you know, in the lower levels. Of course, RAISY still managed to bring it together. And also, I mean, just want to comment on the few times that k1llsen was incredibly outstacked, but was just being so smart about the shots he was taking, the rails, where he was positioning himself to be able to get those shots. I mean, did end up kind of landing in an unfortunate situation there about mid-game, but still phenomenal, right? Great play by both players. Although 2 frags separate these two, I would say that this game is even closer than that represents.
Yeah, 100%. Just such a close game from these two, and again, setting the tone for the series. Can't wait to see it, and just there it is. You love it. You love to see it, and that's just RAISY's way of saying, like, yeah, we're here to play. We're here to play. Whether that gets inside k1llsen's head, I don't think so. I think he's definitely upset that dropping the map. He played really, really well, especially given the circumstances where he was understacked and kind of forced to the low ground. Still made it work for a long period of time, but eventually RAISY just overpowered him. But a strong showing from k1llsen, and going into map number 2 to keep. I feel like, you know, it's nothing to really worry about. Eisen versus Visor, I feel like k1llsen has a little bit of the advantage. You know, the vision is great. I feel like if RAISY uses it to just pop the vision constantly to just steal away the vials, maybe that's something. But even then, Eisen's passive, if he picks up any kind of armor, Timmy the Turret is, you know, alive quicker. So it's an interesting pick. You know, I've seen it more and more. We've seen it more and more throughout the Quake Pro League. So, you know, interested to see how it shapes up.
I would agree with you on this one. I like this pick here for k1llsen. Makes a lot of sense. You know, allows you a little bit more information overall, right, to match the information that RAISY's going to get with his visor, but also the damage too, right? So it is a little faster paced map. Going to expect a lot of action. Expect the LGs to really come out on this one. But I mean, k1llsen looked phenomenal, right? That was not a game where I think he's necessarily walking into game 2 saying, I feel like I didn't do as great as I should have done. Played awesome. So I'm excited to see, you know, now game 2 here, and do agree that I think k1llsen with his Eisen gets a little bit, gets a little +1 on this one from me.
I definitely give him the slight advantage here. So the predictions are raining in for map number 2, and it looks
what do they say?
more like RAISY a little bit. 67 to 33%. Again, there's still some time to lock those in, but I think the gauntlet has spoken. Wheat. People saw that and they're like, "Yep, that's RAISY. Yep, that's RAISY."
You know, RAISY is. I'll tell you what. When he just looks like he's having fun, 40, that's when it just seems like he is able to hit those triple rails and do some, you know, weird 360 gauntlet hits midair. And you know, you just see those magical moments come out from RAISY. So you got to watch out for them. Now, again, this is still k1llsen that we're talking about, but RAISY kind of blows my mind a little bit when you see those little moments come out. It's the reason why I constantly do feel like he could very well be a great in this game, right? He's already done so much in the world of Quake Champions, but you know, with the large Quake legacy there is, I'm just excited for RAISY's future overall.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, knocking on the door so close to taking that title last stage. It's going to be an interesting Stage 2 finals. We're running into a little bit of an issue. We're going to restart real quick, so bear with us. But yeah, I think you're absolutely right in that, you know, when RAISY's having fun and he's smiling, he's smirking, that's when you should be the most terrified, because that's a RAISY who's cool, calm, collected. He's playing like a beast more than likely. So yeah, definitely don't want to catch him doing that, because that means curtains for whoever he's playing usually. So, but k1llsen's been here before. Again, the Stage 1 finals isn't necessarily representative of his performance now. There's a very close first map. I feel like he could bounce back with this one, especially with the Eisen pick going into the visor. But RAISY's RAISY. So one gauntlet kill tilts you off the planet, and who knows what happens, Wheat. But yeah, it's definitely just amazing to see this level of play week in and week out for sure.
I mean, I'm getting chat right now is blowing me up, say that I talk up RAISY too much, but I mean, go look at the tapes, man. Like when you see these incredible moments happen, you're just like, okay, wait a second. I think that I mean, if you want me to be you know, fair and balanced, chat, then I would say that, you know, where's the consistency, right? RAISY has struggled a little bit this stage, and you know, for k1llsen having to take some time off, I think he's looking pretty impressive. So there we go. We can dish out compliments on both sides, 40.
Fair and balanced, Tweet. As the War Wage is on here over at the Rockets. Timmy is out, and 25 HP. k1llsen needs to get out. Oh, wow. Wow, he's actually going to press on after that and get some shotgun kills. Okay. I thought it was going to be a kill. Very, very close. That was an intense first fight for both these players.
That was, and k1llsen going to have to fight from a very low stack, 35 points of health. Well, I mean, I think both players knew, hey, there's blood about to be spilled here. I would like to be the one who claims first blood, but neither wanted to be the corpse. So understand why they backed off after that one, but not surprised to also see a little bit of aggression there. Now, Red Room attacked by k1llsen from just outside the Mega Room. And so far, both players kind of establishing their sides of the map.
Yeah, as k1llsen drops down to grab that 50 armor, is that going to give enough time for RAISY to actually grab rockets? He's been without rockets this entire time. Does grab the heavy, but you got to imagine at a certain point he has to try and make his way towards there. Timmy, again, on lookout duty, making sure that he makes his life hell if he tries to make the play for it.
Yeah, k1llsen just waiting. Rockets to the teleporter exit. Knows that his opponent is sitting on that heavy, just waiting for it to come out. Now, we've got only about a second separating these two majors, and now a little rotation over to the Mega. k1llsen with the beautiful rocket, anticipating his opponent having left and then going back to the area. He does nail it, and now RAISY's just in the back hallway. But again, the Mega side kind of belongs to k1llsen, and the heavy side appears to belong to RAISY.
And k1llsen just knows. He knows he doesn't have rockets, and he's just toying with them, saying, you're not going to get these rockets, and if you do, it's going to cost you a lot! Sends him to the heavens, and RAISY somehow survives. That could have been absolutely brutal. I mean, it was. It could have been death.
Agree. It was brutal. That could have been real bad, and RAISY's probably thanking the heavens right now for giving him a chance because of that rocket hitting. Oh, and there's a nice bounce up rocket.
Oh my god! Oh my
the
god!
turret with the bounced rocket. Timmy actually got a midair kill. Got a midair frag.
k1llsen needs to be careful. 38 HP does do big rocket damage, but the Mega's going to be right there. And this is a chess match. Usually we see, you know, a little bit of a brute force, some bloodbath action, but this is just a pure chess match right now. k1llsen playing the game of you're not getting rockets ever.
I like it. I mean, this is great shutdown. There's a lot of strategy like coming into this particular game. Now, RAISY wants to push forward. I don't think he likes being boxed over to this one side too much. And the turret placement by k1llsen really doing an awful lot for kind of controlling that area. And now heavy going in. k1llsen does steal it away, drops the turret down below, going to be able to steal the Mega as well, and he gets both of the majors here. His stack doesn't really represent that he got both, and then, oh my god, wow. Beautifully done. k1llsen is just on top of everything there, knowing exactly where his opponent's going to go, denying him the health, getting the kill with the LG. Beautifully done, up 2-0.
k1llsen just playing so well. The vision is popped, and RAISY coming in like a wrecking ball, and he's just going to get taken out. What rockets from k1llsen? That was gorgeous. Oh my god.
I mean, great read, knew where his opponent was, went out for the LG battle, had the confidence he could take it. And I think this is exactly where k1llsen wants to be. He's controlling the map so well, 40.
He's doing such a good job. He's shut down RAISY from rockets for about 4 minutes, give or take. RAISY's gotten in on him, but he's always died. And this is the first frag for RAISY, 4 minutes in. Does a good job, but he's really weak. Needs to be careful. Does have vision if he wants that extra insurance. Takes care of Timmy, but again, he's stuck in the situation where he just does not have rockets.
Once again, which is like, you'd think after, you know, at least pulling it back, getting that frag, that things would change, but that is simply not the case. LG is going to be the choice for weapon there, and a little bit of damage is done, but RAISY once again on the lower end of the stack, and now making his way into heavy. k1llsen repositioned himself to just outside the teleporter. Big LG damage coming out, and the turret going down. He's going to fight with the turret. I don't know if I like this idea through the teleporter back up to the top. He's still going to chase it down, and he wants it too bad, and k1llsen gets the frag as RAISY falls off the map.
And he's so weak, the machine gun, will it do it? k1llsen can't get around the corner, so good recovery from RAISY there.
Yeah.
Even after falling off the map and giving Sync Error a frag. Still staying in this, 3 frags down, and he has heavy control. But again, no rockets, and this is just a horrible position for RAISY to be in, but he's going to try and make it work. He's going to get bullied towards the LG, and now he has nothing better to do than to try and get some chip damage, and the timing is wrong, so he didn't even get a shotgun blast off. This is real bad for RAISY.
He had the right idea there. I feel, you know, definitely that choice of battle before he was just sitting outside that teleporter with the shotgun, you know, where he was, he could have retreated to the red room, and just really, I thought he could take the battle. So I'm not quite sure about that one, but k1llsen, just let's talk about, again, we talked about the champion selection, and, you know, Timmy, the turret, has absolutely been a star wingman on this particular map. Just done so much to help him control the areas. And there's a little trap set up. Double rockets come out. Can he finish it off with some machine gun? He does. And now RAISY's on 3.
Not a bad kill there. Does need to be careful going through the telly, and k1llsen does decent damage, but RAISY, all things considered, after this mega pickup, is going to be decently stacked, so he can keep the momentum going. Can he get to rockets in time? No, k1llsen will dive right on those. He does not want the same problem that RAISY's had throughout this game, where he won't have rockets.
Yeah, it's not a great place to be, is it, 40? It's now 6-4, 2 frags. There's still a ton of time. I mean, frankly, I was shocked at how long k1llsen was able to completely lock down this map, almost 4.5 minutes. And now RAISY's trying to turn the tables a little bit and claw back so he could tie this game up. k1llsen certainly not making it easy on himself as he goes to the teleporter through that heavy. Heavy still a long ways before spawning an LG fight, but the rockets of k1llsen put RAISY in the corner. He somehow recovers, and now it's just 1 frag, 40.
Unbelievable. Never put RAISY in a corner. As k1llsen saw his opportunity, was like, I'll just throw you up against the wall with these rockets, but RAISY prevails. And as you said, we 1 frag. Can he get this one? Timmy is deployed. He needs to be careful. Does take that out. 225s to work with, and now he pops the vision, but that rocket damage is going to let k1llsen know that he's right around the corner, but he can't do it. And the Mega's there after the frag, and this could be huge, Wheat.
You know, we talk about that piercing sight with the rail, but piercing sight with LG, especially on a hit like that, real nasty. Tying us back up. We're about 2 minutes and 30 seconds away from the potential conclusion of this matchup, with the possible sudden death still on the table. RAISY, though, certainly been trying to turn up the heat a little bit. k1llsen trying to find that control back, and he does have Timmy ready. We see the piercing sight hit, a little pump up to the top with that hyper blaster, and now going in from the top, more LG raining down, switching to that shotgun, and it's gonna be a big frag on the bottom. With less than 2 minutes to go, RAISY finally takes the lead.
A little bit of machine gun damage on the way out, but I think this is the momentum that RAISY wanted here. Does have positioning on this Mega, needs to be careful of Timmy, though. He's letting too much damage fly by here as k1llsen almost gets the Mega, but he can't steal it. That's going to be gigantic. And the damage off the spawn as k1llsen spawns rockets, has the vision as well, and can trap him on this 50 if k1llsen is not careful.
Really incredible. I mean, think about how, hold on here, fight at the heavy. Another frag comes out. RAISY suddenly goes from a tie game to up by 3. And it seems like whatever changed, he said, you know what? I'm not afraid of Timmy. I won't let him bully and intimidate me. And has just been saying, k1llsen's my target, focus on him, which is not typically how we see Timmy taken care of in these situations, but it's working for RAISY. He's been positioning to try to mitigate as much damage as possible. It's just really impressive play on a comeback. k1llsen, can he bring it back in 30? That's as a tall order.
Yeah, I think he has to play perfectly, and I think the time has already passed, given that RAISY can just be like, you know what, I'm going to chill on the respawn screen for a little bit, eat a little bit of time. I don't really feel the rush to get back into it, and hats off to RAISY for being able to stay calm, down, and, you know, make this comeback happen. That's a great kill from k1llsen there. Could catch him out in the red room here if he's quick enough, but again, even with another frag, that's it.
And wow, another game. 9-7. No. 10-7. It was gonna mirror the results of the last game, but just for you, 40, another gauntlet to end it up. 10-7. RAISY takes that one, but again, the score doesn't really dictate how close that game. That was k1llsen's game for a solid about 4, 5, almost 6 minutes. So RAISY finally found a little crack, a little opening, kind of, you know, like a cat got through an area that you didn't think you'd be able to get through, and then just completely brought it back. I don't know. What do you think? Any one particular large turning point that you would call out for RAISY in that particular map?
I can't really think of one, because when you think of that map, you think the k1llsen show. The rockets were amazing. The denial of rockets on RAISY, like not letting RAISY get rockets for 5 minutes, it felt like, maybe even more. That whole thing k1llsen played it perfectly, but it's almost similar to what we saw kind of with Tox, where like he would be in the lead and then just crumble in the last 3 minutes. It would start spiraling out of control. He would give up control. He wouldn't have the damage that he needed. The opponent would get the clean frag, and then you're just sitting there like wondering what happened. And when it rains, it pours, Weed, because that is super unfortunate. k1llsen, I feel like, played that so well, but RAISY was just stronger. Had the mental capacity to stay in it, not give up, and look at those rockets. I mean, it was k1llsen's rockets the whole time, but RAISY pulled it out.
Yeah, he had a couple of phenomenal rockets. I mean, the one when they were doing the dance from Mega to Heavy, and RAISY left Heavy to go check to see if he could scoop Mega, and k1llsen knew that it happened to that perfect rock where k1llsen had looked away. He was 2 miles away, and then he heard that beautiful beep that you just know, like, yeah, that one hit. That was a good rocket. So some great play from these two. Again, score really doesn't show how close this is. You know, I think if there was one thing, I would say k1llsen's control, top notch for a majority of that matchup. What RAISY is fairly consistent about, I don't feel like he gets down on himself or his own play when he is behind. He seems to be able to keep a level head and try to mount those comebacks. Doesn't always work. In this case, it most certainly did. But, you know, considering that he was down by quite a few early on, you know, k1llsen, unfortunately, that's a tough map to keep control over for that long.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just super impressed at how long he kept the rocket launcher out of, you know, RAISY's hands. I know back in the day, you know, most kids in the chat might not know, but that was an effective strategy because the weapon respawn time was even longer back in the day, which made the game harder. But in this, when it respawns quicker, to make that happen for that long is still impressive to me. Granted, I mean, it's not the result k1llsen wanted. Like, he's like, who cares? Take all the weapons you want. I want to win the map. But it's still just really impressive to see him assert that kind of game plan and make it work almost. So, unfortunate again.
You know, it's really easy for us. So why did you just hold on to control longer? Again, for as small as that map is, that control is pretty sick. And to your point, it wasn't just the map; it was also weapons and what that did to RAISY's inability to basically come back. It did finally happen, but now we're on Molten Falls. We got k1llsen on the Ranger and RAISY on the Clutch. You know, the minivan's scary. What do you think here?
I think this might be a bad time, but k1llsen does have the rail again in his hands, and that could be the saving grace. RAISY's already taken the series, let's not forget. He's just going for the 3-0, the clean sweep, and k1llsen is going to do everything in his power to make sure that does not happen.
Yes, and I'm really curious how this one. I mean, I feel for k1llsen here, right? Tough champ to go up against, but I feel like he can do it. You got to think about, right, trying to bait that shield out and then attacking when that shield's down, but that shield kind of gives RAISY the sort of free card to basically take a major item if he wants. And so we're in a split right now as RAISY just picked up that Mega. Going to head on over. There it is. We got the shield popped out. Oh my gosh. We tried it. Oh my goodness. The shield comes out. He jumped on his head like he's Mario and k1llsen was a Goomba. k1llsen uses the orb to try to get out of there, but the perfect flick rocket and RAISY's on the board.
It's just so brutal. What a rough way to start. And that's just going to fuel RAISY. It's just going to make RAISY play more and more comfortable. But k1llsen's doing a good job of punishing, chasing, but the rail too strong, and oh, look, a Mega. And he's just going to fuel up. This Honda Civic is going all the way, This is going to be a rough time for k1llsen if he can't stabilize. RAISY with a great rail and just retreats. Almost falls off the map, it looks like. That was a little too close.
You got to be a little careful there with the clutch movement on this one. I don't want to jinx anything. I don't want to call it real early, but you know, RAISY looks like he's having fun right now, right? I'm a big robot flying around, hitting rails and popping my shield, and I kind of feel like RAISY may not sit here and tell us and have like a huge smile on his face when he plays because he's like an ice cold killer for sure, but I just kind of feel it in his game. He's there, and I'll tell you what, that's when you really see that beast come out. Now k1llsen's got a great stack, both majors. What can happen here, as looks like we might have our first battle, and k1llsen doesn't even let the shield come out. I guess that's how you get it done.
Really, really big frag here. And I was going to say, if ever there was a time where he could unleash k1llsen, it would be this one right now.
This is it. This is where he needs to come out. You're right.
Around the corner, needs to be careful. Good rail on the way out, and make that all the way out as the emergency brake did not deploy. Unfortunately, RAISY pushing with the rockets into the shield. The dire orb is going to be enough. No,
Wow.
RAISY takes him out 3-2, and things are starting to pick up here.
That was super, super sick. I mean, k1llsen with the orb to try to get out of there. RAISY read that one like a book. Did manage to pull out the frag, but I really like, that beginning was like, oh no, like RAISY, I think he really wants to turn it on, but man, k1llsen is not afraid of that shield. He's playing really smart, using the right weapon, like his use of LG, and as you mentioned, hitting those rails is going to be crucial to this matchup. We're going to have another battle here at the Mega, where we got k1llsen coming down from below, and RAISY just up top. Shield does come out, orb does come out, and RAISY suicide, was that off of a rocket? What was that?
I don't even know what happened, but RAISY gets right back into it so fast. I think it was off his own rocket after the orb and the shotgun blast. But after all that, RAISY's still up by 1.
Yeah. That's how it works out, is kind of reset just a little bit. RAISY was able to kind of come back right off of the spawn. I'm watching through his eyes now, and I was switching players as that happened, so I just saw someone kind of blow up all of a sudden. One frag separating these two. RAISY looked really strong out of the gates, but k1llsen has definitely kind of brought him down a little bit. Is still putting on what he needs to, and one frag is definitely able to be made up here. RAISY's also got to just worry about not flying off of the map, because he is definitely not pulling any punches when it comes to his movements here on Clutch.
Good rail there from k1llsen, but the Mega's going to be up, so not the best. If you can get one on the way out, that would help a lot more. k1llsen knows it, and he wants it. Tries to get the angle, but good escape plan there from k1llsen. Does not want to get caught out at all. That shield could be so deadly. RAISY just flying by.
RAISY is doing a great job with armor deny right now. He's watched him deny a lot of those lights, so is not able to get the one over by Mega, but here we do have the shield come out, and that was so much damage from RAISY and so little inflicted, unfortunately, by k1llsen with that shield up. And now RAISY with the 2 frag lead on the 5-minute warning, coming around the side. Rail gets hit, second rail, third rail, but k1llsen not really in a position to be able to fully follow up with that one. But that's exactly what he needs to do, 40.
Yeah, that's exactly what he needs to do. Rather than try and orb into the shield play from RAISY, I really feel like just keep your distance, hit a couple rails, and then you're free to kind of finish the frag with the orb. But to go in against a stacked Clutch while he's popping shield and trying to orb in for some sort of massive damage is just not what he wants to do right now.
Now RAISY waiting for this heavy. It is up. His opponent, is he going to drop down? Yeah, he hears it. Oh, waits for him to come up the jump pad. 1 rocket, 2 rocket, pops the shield, decides to chase, but is so low, 47 points of health. He's got to get out of here. Well played by k1llsen, despite the fact that he was the one that got caught in the trap.
Yeah, didn't quite go RAISY's way at all, but he does set up a nice rail there, making sure that he chips away so k1llsen doesn't have this huge stack where he can just kind of assert dominance, right? Still 2 frags, plenty of time as well, so RAISY is doing a good job of making sure it doesn't get out of hand, because if he gives up both items, no damage at all, k1llsen, again, with the passive and the dire orb, can just traverse the map at will.
Very right. Very, very true. There's a nice rail from RAISY on the top. He's going to pop over and maybe head to Mega. It is up. He's a bit late to that one. Rail comes through, and he decides to get out of there. Got himself a rail now and another light, but unfortunately he's going to end up giving up both of the majors here.
Yeah, huge stack on k1llsen, but RAISY does have that shield. 1 or 2 rails and it's even, and the shield. He could finish with LG as k1llsen just trying to get some sort of damage, just not landing what he needs. 3 minutes left. It's got to be increasingly frustrating, because you're getting all the items, and RAISY's completely okay with that. You take the map. That's okay. I'm going to take this 2 frag lead, and I'm just going to play how I need to get this 3-0.
And knowing that he does not have either of those majors, suddenly RAISY kind of goes into definitely like a turtle style of play. He is listening. He is setting up traps, as we might have another one here. Coming around the corner, Rocket comes out, bounce with the second one. The orb does come out, but the shield is popped. LG from the bottom, Rails from the top. Rails do hit, and the Mega is picked up, getting out of there. Wow, k1llsen really not letting up on that one. He knows that he needs to get 2 more frags, and the clock is ticking away. 40. As RAISY does have that 2 frag lead, k1llsen needs to claw his way back.
And it's really important that even though RAISY's playing this hyper defensive style, he's not giving up timing. So that's why he was able to make that play at the Mega, steal it away. And now look at the stacks. They've been completely flipped in RAISY's favor. So he can kind of play the way RAISY wants right now if he wants to push this. But again, with the 2 frag lead, he doesn't need to do anything. There it is up the jump pad, though. Ooh, he could have picked him out of the sky, Wheat. That would have been a close one.
It would have been, and yeah, again, RAISY, he backed off a bit, but only for a little bit. He's been putting it back on yet again, and the clock is just very, very quickly ticking away.
RAISY.
Oh, he's going for it. He wants it, but it's going to be the rail to seal the deal there, and that, I mean, just that right there, 40. I'm sorry, but if that doesn't make you scared of RAISY and his confidence to do something like that, I don't know what to tell you. Suddenly, this 2 frag game is now turned into a 4 frag game, and k1llsen knows he's got to be bringing it back, but unfortunately, oh no.
Oh, RAISY,
unfortunately, it's just letting RAISY knock him down one at a time.
This man has a family, and RAISY's like, I'll spot you one. How about that? I'll spot you a frag, and this is just insane. RAISY's gauntlet, when you hear that hum, it's like a horror movie in-game. You're just like screaming, you're panicking, you're like, please let me out. And meanwhile, the chat is like, oh my god, he's behind you. As k1llsen does make it rain rockets here, covered in motor oil, still down by 3, but with 30 seconds left, it's just, I think it's out of reach, Wheat.
Yeah, is a tough one, a tough matchup. We knew it was going to be since the champ pick, and I felt like k1llsen handled it at the beginning very, very well. Had a couple of great fights there versus RAISY, even with that shield and even with his full arsenal. But that's a tough pace to hold on to, 40, for the entirety of the matchup. And RAISY did have that ability to kind of slow it down a little bit, get super defensive if he needed to, let his opponent take some of the major items, but RAISY is going to be taking it 3-0 in a 7-4 final score. But again, those were, like, k1llsen should still, like, he put on an amazing show, an incredible back and forth in some, had the lead in a couple of different maps. RAISY will take it. But I think k1llsen put forth a great effort on this one. RAISY will move forward to be 6-2 now in his series overall.
Yeah, I think an incredible performance from k1llsen. I don't think he should be ashamed of the way he played at all. Of course, it's upsetting to lose, 0-3, especially against someone that you feel like you have the edge on for 6-7 minutes of the maps, and then it just kind of all goes away. But Flea, what do you think of what we just saw? Let's get you back in here.
Excellent series indeed. I mean, the first one not to go all the way to the final map, which is always a little bit of a downer, but nevertheless, k1llsen put on an amazing performance. Back and forth for much of the maps. I think a lot of people during map 2, Corrupted Keep, were convinced that k1llsen would take that one, right? The way he started, those first 4 or 5 minutes, very dominant play by k1llsen. And then there was that one moment where RAISY just kind of set up a trap, waiting around the rockets, 2 rockets in the back, and then he just ran with the momentum that he built. And then, of course, the final map, the clutch coming out to play so confident. For a moment there, it really looked as if k1llsen was going to mount a comeback. He was playing it perfectly, using the orb and the ranger against clutch. Probably one of the best champions you can pick against a robot, but then RAISY just, took his foot off the gas a little bit, stayed back, and then waited for the perfect opportunity to just billy k1llsen once more. So a very good series. Well played, RAISY. Well played, k1llsen.
Yeah. Wheat, any thoughts?
I mean, I was just thinking about as Flea was going through his little wrap-up, I was just thinking, good to see a smile on k1llsen's face. I was just thinking about that rocket orb rocket that happened there in the heavy room. It was quite beautiful, but Great matchup. I think everyone was incredibly entertained. I think just based off what I'm seeing in chat, although some may have lost some points in their predictions, very excited in terms of the play that we saw and some of the shots and 40 some of the gauntlets that we saw as well. So great game from both players. Congratulations to RAISY for picking it up.
Yeah, congratulations. And I think we're working on getting him in here to have a little chat with him about it. But, given everything k1llsen's been through, kind of recovering with the whole eye thing, I feel like this is kind of not his final form as much as, he wants it to be. I think it'd be a different story. I mean, it was already close, and I don't want to make excuses for any of the players, but I just feel like maybe there was a little something. I don't know. But going week in, week out, closer and closer to the Stage 2 finals, it's just exciting to see this level of play. So it's definitely something to keep your eyes on.
I mean, I still remember at the very beginning of this stage, even before we had the first week, k1llsen was already saying on his own stream, I don't think this is my stage. The maps just aren't the maps that he prefers to play. They don't really enable his playstyle to the greatest extent possible. And of course, you had those personal problems come up as well. So I do think that this isn't k1llsen's form. We're not even nearly seeing what this man is capable of. And I think we can all just hope that he regains that as we move in towards the finals.
Totally agree. Well, we have RAISY inside the studio. RAISY, I hope you brought an umbrella or a jacket. It's a little rainy in here, but congratulations on your 3-0.
Thank you very much.
Congrats.
Hello, guys.
Hi.
Flea, I'll let you open it up.
Oh, you're gonna let me open it up. Well, RAISY, congratulations. Question, how does the thought process go along when you see that Clutch isn't banned right off the bat? Are you just confident that you can pick him for the final map because k1llsen won't play him? And is it like a given for you when Clutch is available, you are going to play him? Or were you still like waiting to see what the maps were going to be before committing to the robot?
Well, I have a plan when Clutch is available. I knew that when he won the coin toss, I expected him that he's gonna ban it, because most people do. He didn't, which was a surprise to me. But by then, the maps were already picked, and I didn't feel like playing Clutch on my map. And I was guessing that for the third map, he's definitely gonna ban it, which he didn't. That surprised me, and I was thinking either he forgot about it, which is unlikely, or he had a plan to counter it somehow. So I made sure that when I play against him as Clutch, I'll be on my toes, like, be careful.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to follow up 40 if it's okay
Yeah.
on that particular question. RAISY, congratulations. You said, to be careful in that last map. And there are definitely times we saw you slow down. There are also times we saw an immense amount of pressure applied. Now, k1llsen kind of had the lead there in the opening moments of that particular map. So, what actually was your plan versus the Ranger? And then how did that come to fruition, or how did that materialize for you as you started taking the lead?
Well, I tried to play all the maps very slowly and carefully. I didn't want to play it like a brain-dead person, because lately I've been struggling with that. I just couldn't get myself to play properly. Instead, I was just going in all the time, all aggro, relying on my aim and combat skills, which sometimes work, but lately it has not been. So I tried to approach this matchup more carefully.
Would sort of the couple of times that you actually slowed down, put yourself into a corner, kind of waited, you knew where k1llsen was, and then you struck, was that an example of exactly what you're talking about?
Yes, I tried to play cautiously, especially when I was not in the lead, because usually lately I've been running back, trying to get the control back, forcing him to either give it up or end up dying if I'm able to kill him, and that didn't really work, because I just kept giving him free frags like latest few weeks. So this time I tried to play it slower. I let him be in control until I felt comfortable to try to take it over. And until then, I was just playing it passive, slowly trying to do chip damage, stack up on smaller items, and then when I felt like the time is right and I have an opportunity, I try to take over control.
Awesome, thank you.
My question's a little silly. That's why I wanted to go last. Do you know the fear that you strike in your opponent's hearts when you pull out that gauntlet, or are you aware of it, RAISY? Because I think you terrify everybody, and it's amazing.
I don't think about it. I sleep well at night.
That is terrifying. So moving forward to the Stage 2 finals, I mean, the Stage 1 finals were so close. You had such an incredible display. Is there anything you're trying to fine-tune that you could share with us? There's 3 weeks left, then the bye week, then we're in it. So is there anything major you want to focus on? I know last week and just now you said you kind of want to focus on playing more strategic, not just going in and being aggro. But is there anything else that you want to kind of clean up before getting into the finals?
Mainly this, and then just to keep my level consistently high. That's mostly it.
All right. Well, congratulations again. I think the display on Corrupted Keep was fantastic. To get locked out of Rocket Launcher for so long and still, hang in there and be able to bring that back and then get the 3-0 for the whole set. That's incredible. And congratulations. And I'm sure we're going to see more of you.
Thank you very much, guys.
Yep. Take care. Well, guys, that's 5 down. That's a whole lot of Quake, but oh wait, there's this one little match left. Dehang versus Rafa, and this one is going to settle the 1 seed in the Americas. There's going to be a whole lot of roof coming up, chat, so we're going to take a quick break. We're going to hang out for a little bit, let it breathe, but we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.